Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this NSCF question and answer session. I think the purpose of today is just to give you some background and maybe a little bit more information on the collection management and curation course that we plan to be running over the next 18 months. So just to give you some information, but then also just to give you a chance to ask any questions that you might have about the course and how it's going to work. So I think that, let me see, I think people mostly here. I think it will be best to go through the presentation and then to take questions at the end, because the answers to your question might come in the next slide. So let's rather go through everything and then there'll be a chance if you've got any questions. I don't think it'll be a terribly long session, but let's see how we go. So thank you for joining us for this. So just to give you some background, by now you will know that the Collection Management and Conservation Manual has been published. That took a long time to develop it. It's a big fat document. It was published and it's been distributed. So we distributed 240 copies, and I think there's still some people who are waiting for additional copies to be printed. But we do know that at least 240 people have got it. And we've developed an implementation plan for the manual. So what we really didn't want to do was to develop this whole document and then leave it to sit, or some institutions implement some of it, some implement none, some implement all of it. We really wanted to get it implemented as much as possible across all our partner institutions. So we developed a plan. We've had a webinar where we presented that plan. But we also know that there's a real need for training in collection management and curation. For many years, since I first started working with the collections and sort of working at a national level with the collections, people have been saying, can we not have a training course? There are courses that are offered by institutions. So we did do an assessment. I looked at what they offered and what the requirements were, and they really didn't seem appropriate for what we need. So they often are more sort of research orientated rather than kind of what to do, or they deal with restoration of artifacts and very narrow focus, but take a long time. Some of them are very expensive. And so when you think about it, we've got a lot of expertise and experience in our community, in the NSCF community. If you look at those two pictures from our two physical forums that we had, this is us. And yeah, we've got, I don't know if we had to add up all the experience amongst all of these people. So why not use this experience, and why not use our manual that we've all had input into and spent a lot of time on? Why not use what we've got? So we'd also planned to have guidance and support sessions for implementation of the manual. And then we thought, well, why not adapt these and use them for the training as well? So rather than trying to run two different processes, let's just be as efficient as we can. So the approach for the course, so anybody who's done teaching, I would hope that you've realized what is the most effective way to learn anything. So any of you, when have you learned something the best? bet you if you think about it, it will be when you had to do something, not when you sat in a lecture theatre and somebody told you a whole lot of information. So that's been proven, that lecturing is actually the least effective way of learning anything. And doing things is the most effective way. So we've used that approach, that kind of principle in developing this course. And what our approach means then is that staff who are doing the course, they don't have to leave their work for extended periods while they go somewhere and do a 3-month course or a 6-month course or a 1-year course, which would leave a big gap in their work. And then what they learn is directly benefit to their institution or their collection. And while they're doing this course, what they're doing is upgrading or sorting out something in the collection. So everybody is benefiting from this approach. What this approach also means is that it's active participation in the training sessions. It's reflecting on what the manual says versus the current situation in the collection or the institution. And it's taking an action to develop documents or implement standards or workflows. So there's 3 things. It's coming, listening, reading the manual, thinking about what you've got in your own situation, and then doing an action that will implement something in the manual. And so it's active. So everybody's going to say, well, what will we be expected to do for this course? You will be expected to attend all the webinars and then attend, but also participate in separate discussion forums. So these are going to be where we had one, I think it was last week. People from different institutions gave a short presentation on how it's going in their institution with implementing the manual. In these discussion forums, each one will focus on a separate topic. Sometimes you'll be asked to contribute, do a short presentation. Other times you'll just be there as a member of the group and you'll have a chance to ask questions. Sometimes someone will ask a question and you'll know the answer to it. You can help them, provide your insights. And so it's participating in these discussions. Also be involved in tutorials. So we're going to have tutorials that are videoed. So it's a video recording showing how to do a particular thing. So it might be how to package herbarium specimens for a loan. So then you would make the video showing how to do it, and that would be available for others to watch. Could be how to measure the ethanol concentration in a wet collection, how to top up and correct ethanol concentration. So those kinds of things. And we know that lots of people in this community know these things. They do it, they've got experience. And so those are the people that we'll ask, but it might be some of the people doing the course. What we expect is that you'll keep all your, if you've done presentations through these things, if you've made notes from anything, and any of the assignments that you've done, you keep them, you put them all together, and you put them into a portfolio, which is a folder or a file, and you submit that, and that will be assessed. Now we know that there's quite a lot of people who hate writing, who that may be an obstacle for them, and we don't want to exclude those people. So if you'd rather record your assignments as a video, so you can talk, you can explain rather than writing, you can do that as well. So it's not a writing test, it's a knowledge and a skills and an understanding assessment. So what will these assignments be? So the course requires actions. What the manual covers, what is reviewed in the webinars needs to be taken back and implemented in the institution or the collections. So the assignments will focus on that kind of work. So reviewing what was said in the webinar, and then what does that mean in my collection? So the kinds of assignments, examples of them, you could be asked to develop a workflow. So what's your workflow for accessioning or taking in new collection objects? What happens from the time it arrives at the front desk to the time it goes into the collection? What are the steps? Who's responsible? So that kind of workflow, and then test it, and you document that process and say, what does it work? Where are things that don't work according to the manual? Are there things that need to be changed? So that could be one kind of an assignment. Another kind of an assignment might be reflecting on policy guidelines that are in the manual and comparing them to what exists in your institution, and saying what are differences and what are gaps and what might need to be changed. So that would be like a review of a policy if you've got one. If you have no policy, then it may be drafting that policy. That could be your assignment. And then it could be implementing a curation process in the collection. So it could be upgrading to meet the standards. So checking ethanol concentrations in a wet collection. That could be your project, to do that and to document what did you do, what did you find, and how did you correct things. It could be doing fumigation in a dry collection, following the guidelines in the manual. It could be doing a health risk assessment for disaster management or for health and safety. So following the guidelines in the manual, you do it. What did you find? What are the gaps? What needs to be addressed? So those are the kinds of assignments that you'll be asked to do. And of course, a very important thing, people are going to say, well, I have time to do this. They're going to ask me to do all of these things. I'm busy. So we've also tried to take into consideration people's existing commitments and what their job. So the webinars will be once a month, and they'll take between 1 and 2 hours. And then a discussion forum, 1 a month, 1 to 2 hours. The tutorials, there may be like 1 a month. So that will be your sort of contact time, the time that you're sitting, listening. So it's probably not more than 4 hours in a month. So that's not a lot of time. Then you'll have about 1 assignment every month or every 6 weeks. And so doing the documenting it, obviously the actual work could take longer, but making the notes and writing down what you did, that could take between 1 and 2 days a month. There'll be a minimum of 10 assignments that you have to submit, but if you want to do them all, you can. So you don't have to do every assignment, you'll be expected to do 10. So I've estimated, also if you're preparing a presentation for the discussion forum, you are expected to do about 3 of those. It's 3 to 5 days in total. So over an 18-month period, and we think this course will run for 18 months, it'll take, for the extra work, not the work you're doing in the collection, it'll be about 6 to 8 weeks. Make it 8 weeks. So it's not a huge, heavy burden on people who are doing it. So the actual implementation of some of the components of the manual will take longer, but this should be part of your normal work plan. So it should be, you're building this, it's part of your normal work in a way, upgrading the collections or doing something that you normally do, but doing it in a slightly different way because of the manual. That's a little bit small, but this is our sort of schedule. So February, we've already had a webinar on the process for implementing the manual. March, we had a webinar on implementation of the manual as a change process. And that was recorded, that webinar by Des also and Ilse Olkers. And I really suggest if you weren't part of that webinar, then go and look at it, watch the webinar. It's very important to understand what we're trying to do and how this is a change thing. It's not a matter of people saying, oh, but we've always done it the other way, so we can't implement the manual. It's looking at, well, how do we change what we do to meet the standards that have been agreed on? So do have a look at that. And then last week we had that discussion forum that I mentioned about how institutions are implementing the manual. So we've already started, but these were not sort of critical core components. The next webinar that will be later this month, and that's on ethics for collection. So we'll go through what are the key points that the manual says, and what do we expect institutions to have. In June, there'll be this discussion forum looking at the policies, and people will discuss what their institutions have. Then later in June, the next webinar on the next part of the manual, which is collection documentation. July, there'll be a discussion forum. So you can see the schedule, how we're planning to do things. And all along, you'll be given these assignments. So then it'll continue into 2022, into next year. We don't want to cram everything into a short space of time because we don't think there'll be enough time to sort of process what you're learning. And so it carries on with the same kind of schedule, going through a chapter. Sometimes a chapter will need 2 webinars and 2 discussion forums, especially the curation, the collection care section. We hope that we'll be finished everything by June next year, end of June, and then in July there'll be time for people to catch up or do assignments. September, finalize, put everything together and submit portfolio in October. And through this whole time, there'll be tutorials, like little skills, how-to tutorials. And, you know, those won't be scheduled as part of the formal thing. If we need additional workshops on a particular thing, if you're trying to develop a policy or develop a workflow and you're struggling, then we'll also include, we can have those extra ones. So some of the questions that have already come to us and that I think people might want to know is who will mark the assignments, who will mark that portfolio. It'll depend on how many people there are. I hope that I can do it. But if there's too many people doing the course, I'll have to rope in some other people in the community, but we'll have very clear assessment criteria. So what are we looking for? What does a mark of 80 mean? What does a mark of 70 mean? 60, 50, you know, so it'll be very, very clear. So even if I don't do all of them, the other assessors will know exactly how to do it. Another question, can I fail this course? I want to do a course and then fail. That would be terrible. So you shouldn't fail if you attend everything. If you decide, oh, I'm just going to start bunking now and I won't do that assignment. So the way you could fail is by not completing or not attending. What will I get if I pass? So this is probably what lots of people are thinking. Will I get a bonus? Will I get a promotion? Will I get a salary increase? We've got no control over those things. That's up to your institution. You will get a certificate from the NSCF, and we'll try and make them as nice as possible. Put it in your office. We are also registering the course for SACNASP credits. So those people who are SACNASP registered will get a credit for completing the course. And you'll benefit by gaining a huge amount of knowledge and experience by doing this. So I think the most important benefit will actually be your capacity. People who do the course will develop capacity and have credibility if they apply for another job, or they want to move, or they want to take on more responsibility. So it's not actually about the certificate, this course. It's more about making people really good professional collection managers or curation people or curation assistants or whatever your job is. Can we do assignments as a team? So we know that often in these collections, it's not one person, it's a bunch of people who do things. It's not one person who's going to develop a policy, it'll be a team. It's not one person who works out a workflow, it'll be a whole group. So yes, you can do assignments as a team. So I think that that is important to allow that. And then the question would be, well, how will you allocate marks if we've done this as a group of 5? We do the assignment as a group of 5 people, we all submit the same assignment. Now what are you going to do? So the important thing, if you're working as a team, would be to say what was the role of each person in that team, and did they actually contribute and participate? And then we would probably give the same mark to all members of the team for that assignment, but we'd want to see that everybody did contribute. So so that some people don't just piggyback on the hard workers and get their marks. Will the course be repeated again next year or the next year? So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what the level of interest is. Obviously, we're not going to repeat it next year because it's going to run through 2022, but we may repeat it in 2023. And it would be a lot easier because we would actually have the webinars recorded. We would have a lot more material recorded. This is new, and we are figuring out a lot of things as we go because it's a different approach. And yeah, so we probably, if there's enough interest, we might offer it in 2023. Can people who are not at one of the NSCF institutions do the course? So we'll see how many people register, and if there is space, then we would allow it. And maybe later in 2023, we might open it to them. But if there's space now, we would allow them to do it. Can interns and postgrad students do the course? If they're going to be in the collection, if they're going to be working in the collection until sort of mid-2022. So obviously they have to be working in the collection to do the assignments. They can write up the assignments and everything after that. But if their contract ends at the end of 2021, then they're not going to be able to complete. And so we wouldn't encourage that. And the same for postgrads. You have to be working in a collection to be able to do the assignments. Do I have to do all parts? Sorry, there's an O missing there. Do I have to do all parts of the course, or can I just do the ones that are relevant to my work? And we talked about this quite a lot as the hub team. And we believe that it's better for you to do everything because you don't know what will happen in the future. And you don't know, you could be moved within your institution, you could be offered a better opportunity in your institution where you take on more responsibility. You could want to change jobs. So it's far better to do everything and to get that perspective on everything, even if you only work with insects. You know, learn about wet collections. Even learn about herbarium specimens and how to package those, you know, so learn as much as you can, as broadly as you can about collection management so that you can become a professional. if you don't register for the course, then you can come to anything that you're interested in. So then you're not expected to come. I mean, it would be nice if you came to everything, but it's not essential. So those are some of the questions that I thought people might have. I'm going to end the presentation now, and then we'll take questions from anybody. So I see that there's a chat. Okay, let's see. All right, so Anri, okay, Anri, yeah, type your questions in. Joy is just saying hello. Audrey saying hello. Fulu has posted the change webinar. Does this course exempt staff from doing the data management course? No. The answer, I think, is no. They're two very different things. And yeah, there may be additional courses to this one to, more kind of specific. So this isn't everything that the NSCF will ever be training. Yeah, I don't know if you want
Michele?
to...
Michele?
Yes, Nkosinathi?
I think there was what I think they said that they should not register for anything else when they were doing this course. That question is coming from that.
Oh, I see. Okay, thanks for clarifying. Okay, I think you could do both. So what we don't want people to do is to be working on their MBA and trying to do this course at the same time, or trying to write up your PhD. So it's really about, it's just making sure that there's sufficient time. So Eunice given a thumbs up, which I think means that he agrees. So you can do that data management course and this at the same time. All right. When will the applicant know if they're accepted to do the course? So Fulu, when does it close? Friday?
Monday, yeah.
Monday. So Monday that closes. So we'll look at them and we'll let people know about Tuesday. So we'll just go through. So and do you know how many people have registered already, Fulu?
It was, when I checked, I think yesterday we had 38.
Oh. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, but that's fine. So what we'll do then is, so we'll go through the applications, and if you're at an institution in a permanent job and you're not doing anything else, you're not studying anything else, then it's easy. We'll accept you. It doesn't matter what level you're at, what your background is, we'll take you. If you're studying something else, you're doing your PhD, your master's, then we'll have to look at it more carefully. If you're an intern on contract or a postgrad, then we'll look at it more carefully. But we don't want to exclude people who we think would benefit from doing this course. 38 is quite a lot.
How many do you want, Michele?
So I'd thought about 30. So yeah, it depends on if most people have. But we manage, we'll make a plan. Let's see if there's any more questions. When will they know? Okay, so Rendani, I hope that answers your question.
I'll help you mark the assignments, Michele.
Thank you, Ian. Thanks. Yeah, as long as I've got somebody to help mark. Andrea says they're still waiting for permission from the institution. So that's 4 from the ARC. So Andrea, what we can do is you could start doing it. The people from OBI can start doing it. So I think register and just say approval pending. If your institution denies you that approval, then you can withdraw. Okay. But what I think would be bad is if you don't register because you're waiting for that approval and then you miss the first sessions and then you've got to wait until 2023. So that's what I would, so Fuller's asking people to put on their videos. I didn't do a check-in round because I know that people are busy. Daniela is asking if there's a cost for the course. No, there's no cost. It's free. Anything else from anybody? So, I mean, there will be additional training. So Ian has talked about running, specify the kind of introductory specify. So Ian, I don't know if you want to just say, because that will be in addition to this course.
So yeah, so there is going to be other data related training happening. The specified training that I'm doing is basically just going to be for the Ditsong staff, because they've got a whole lot of new staff who haven't done the introductory training yet. And then, but the main thing is going to be the georeferencing training, which will also kind of be rolled out over the next sort of 6 months or so. And that'll be extra additional to this course. We will do a module in this course about data management, just looking at the data management chapter and the various standards, and just talking about the sort of importance of data within these collections institutions and publishing data and all that kind of thing. But it'll just be a one module, one webinar type thing.
Okay, thanks, Ian. All right, so I think there are no questions. So I'm going to do a quick round. I'm going to ask everybody to just say who they are and where they're from, and then whether they think they're going to register, and what they think their biggest challenge will be. All right, so if you're going to do this course, what's the thing that's still like buzzing in your head that you're a bit worried about doing it? Okay, so let me get a list of participants. So Fulu won't be doing the course, but she'll be helping a lot with a lot of different things. The same for Chanel.
Hi, Michele.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, it's the four of us from Honor Supports, Kirsten, Karin, Dikeledi, and I. We're still waiting for permission from Dr. Malumba to attend this. But yeah, Kirsten's overseas at the moment. When she gets back, then we'll register her as well. Our collection, the helmets, are still outside in our passage, so we haven't even started putting them back again. So I think this course is going to be really important for us, so that we can start from the beginning the correct way. So we're in for a big thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you'll have lots of material for your assignments.
Oh, yes.
Okay, let me go to the next one. Andri? Oh, okay, so sorry, Andri, right, you didn't have sound. So she says, so Amanda says she didn't get the question. So Amanda, are you thinking of registering for the course, and is there anything that you worried about? Chantal, do you want to go?
Hi everyone, yes, I'm Chantal Gergen. I think most of you know me by now. I'm always at these things, it seems. I'm the curator of the National Collection of Nematodes, newly appointed. So I'm definitely registered, or I've registered already. I'm a little bit panicking about implementing all this stuff by myself, but I'm here to learn. Like I have so many questions about curation and collections management. I think I can do the curator part better than the collections management part. So I'm definitely here to learn.
Okay, all right, thanks Chantal. Daniela?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, so obviously my name's Daniela. I'm at a private institute called Afrobugs with Peter Hawkes. I'm super interested in this. I've always enjoyed it, and I've been helping out with the collection here. Obviously, it's probably a lot smaller than what you guys have at your institutes, but it's at the current state, it's quite organized, I'd say. But I really want to learn new methods, and we want to see if we can improve what we're currently doing, just because there's already, like, it's quite organized. Implementing some of the changes might be difficult for us, just because we've already got a system in place, but I'm very keen to learn about the different systems. So I'm very interested and also want to register, but obviously for private institutes, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. So you're welcome to register. Like I said, if we've got space, then we will accommodate you. And we do recognize, I mean, we've got such a diversity of collections and institution types, you know, involved. And so it's not one size fits all for implementing this manual. There's going to be different ways and different challenges at every institution. So we will accommodate that.
Okay, fantastic.
All right. Okay, Derek.
Derek said something on the chat.
Okay, Eunice. Oh, no audio, Derek. So yeah, you can always post your answer in the chat box. Eunice.
Hi everyone, I'm Eunice. I'm working at Vector Control Reference Lab. I'm with Professor Maureen Kosia's lab. I'm the curator. I'm interested in the course because I have no idea of what museum is and my job as a curator. I wanted to learn. I'm interested in learning about a curator and collection of specimen, preservation, registering of samples. Please, I'm just interested in this course. I just want to learn. Thank you.
Okay, that would be great. Yes, so that's one of the institutions that we'd love to have as a partner. And so I'm very glad that you got hold of the information. So those people who, so Daniela and Eunice, have you managed to download the manual from the website?
I have not downloaded the manual. I was having problem downloading it with the site, and I've asked fully to help. So I'm still into it. I'm so much interested in learning everything about museum and curator.
Okay, all right. So we must make sure that you know that people, all right. So we must. So it is accessible. And if you do have problems with downloading it, then you must just let us know, and we'll get that for you. Okay, so she'll send it to you.
Thank you so much.
Michele?
Okay.
Michele?
Grace, sorry, somebody wants to say something. Go.
Yes, it's Nkosnari from SAIB.
Right.
I have another meeting in 3 minutes, so I think can I go in?
Yes, please.
Yes. So, Nkosnat Mazungola I'm a general assistant at SAIB. So at SAIB, we have not been given an option as to whether we want to register or not. So you are getting all of us. All activities of the NRF are part of our performance agreement. So all the guys will be attending the course. We're just worried about Nonkoliso because she's doing the management course. But I'm happy that she can do this one as well. So you are getting all of us. We have a lot of work that needs to be done. So this course is going to help us a lot. Okay. Of course, the one thing that is worrying me a lot is the handwritten catalogs, but we'll get there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll figure it out all together. So we're very excited to have the whole of SAIB joining us for this training. They'll do very well. Okay, thanks, Nkosinati. Grace, do you want to go?
Morning, everyone. My name is Grace. I'm from the ARC. I work in the mycology section. I work with the living fungal collection. I will join the course, even though the challenge will be to try to do the assignments among all the activities that I use to do daily, but I'll manage to join.
Okay, great. Thanks, Grace.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we heard you. Thanks, we got that. Jermaine?
Hi, Hi everyone, my name is Jermaine. I'm from the National Museum in Bloemfontein. I am currently their data capturer. So yeah, I registered and I'm willing to learn everything because now I'm still on that learning process and I want to know everything, not really everything, but I want to know something, and I do believe that it's going to help me because I still want to study further and then I still want to explore. So yeah, I do believe that I'm just nervous in terms of notifications. Will I be able to get everything in time? But so far, I think I'm going to enjoy it. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jermaine. Karin?
Karin from the IRC Onderste Poort. I'm a researcher here and the collection manager of the National Insects of Veterinary Importance. I want to register. We're just waiting for permission from our director, as Andrea said. And I'm just interested in learning how to better manage our collections and to implement the manual. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Kuliwa?
Hi everyone, my name is Kuliwa from Ziya Canteen Herbarium. I've registered already. This course will be a refresher for me because I've been almost 7 years off herbarium. So I'm really looking forward for it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. And I'm sure you can help. You can also help us teach some parts of it.
Yes, I've agreed on that fact. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Kuliwa. Mandisa?
Thanks, Michele. I was just unmuting my mic.
Okay.
Yes, I haven't actually yet made up my mind in terms of registering because I still had questions, but I think after this presentation, I will still be able to make up my mind to register today. But even if because originally I wasn't so sure whether can we register some aspects of the course or should we register all of it? Yeah. But I think it's, I have clarity now. So by the end of this afternoon, I would have made up my mind. But thank you for the clarity in the presentation. It was quite much clear.
Okay. All right. Great. Thanks, Mashiani. Matbaro?
Good morning, everyone. My network is very bad. It keeps cutting and restarting all the time. So it's been a bit of a challenge. Yes.
Oh, and he's gone down. Okay, so this is going to be one thing that we're going to have to consider is connectivity. So, because you're going to need to be able, I mean, everything is going to be virtual. And so we're going to just need to also check that everybody has a reasonable connectivity, and we're going to have to make sure we do it at a time when people are at work, you know, these sessions. Okay, so Matabara, sorry we lost you there. Maxine?
Thanks, Michele. I'm Michele. I'm from KZN Herbarium, and I was thinking of doing this course, but I think I'm going to now speak to my supervisor to see if maybe, as Ian said, there's going to be other courses like the georeferencing course. So if that would benefit me and the institution better, then I'd rather do that course. But it's good to see what's being done. Thanks, Michele.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Maxine. Melissa? Melissa, I'll go.
I'm Melissa. I'm an assistant curator at the Ezekiel South African Museum for the Marine Invertebrates Department. So yeah, I am interested in doing this course. I'm just awaiting from my line manager to let me know if everything's fine. It shouldn't be an issue. Assistant curator, I have done curation before, but I think doing this course would bring about a standard that all curators or anyone interested in data management for curation also can take away from. So that's partly why I'm interested. The other reason is I want to also start being able to articulate why collections are important. I love collections. I'm in love with natural history collections, but I think doing this course will help with me be able to tell other people why it's important, and just understand it a bit more, instead of just being passionate and curious about it, but understand what we can actually learn from it. So yeah, thank you for this.
Okay, Melissa, that's really great. Welcome. I didn't realize that you were working at, that you had a post at Iziko. So welcome to the NSCF community. It's really great to have you. And you really need to join Fulu and Chanel's group that's looking at the value of collections. I'm sure that
I've seen parts of it, yes.
yeah, you must get involved. We need people like you involved in that. So that'll be great.
Thank you.
Okay, then yes, go Mandisa.
Hi everyone, I'm Madison from KZN Museum. I'm an entomology research technician. I only came in now because the server was down, so I couldn't attend the first part of the session. So I just wanted to ask if it's possible to attend, not like things that you might find that would be an advantage for you to attend.
Yeah. So, okay. So we'll make the presentation available somewhere for people who want to go back to it or people who missed it. So Chanel says it'll be posted on YouTube later, so you can watch it there. But I did explain that what we want is for the people doing the course to attend all the different sessions, just because you don't know in future where you might move to or what additional responsibilities you might have or what different collections might come to you. You don't know whether you're going to be taking on more responsibility. So I think to have a complete training, it's important to do all the different sections of it. All right, so, okay, thanks, Mandisa. So nothing non-Kulileko or non-Kuliso? Or Mzwai? No, okay, Rendani?
Thanks for the opportunity. I am Rendani Luthadaraswisi. I'm at the UKZN Pietermaritzburg campus. I'm a principal technician. I manage the museum in the UKZN. We do also have the herbarium. So I've registered for the course. I hope I'll be accepted because the part of museum is not in the NSCF, but we do have the museum, the herbarium that is registered in the NCF. So thank you.
Okay, all right, thanks, Rendani. Session.
Hi, Michele, and hi, everyone. Thank you for this course. So I haven't registered. I just got sent this recently from someone from Buse Herbarium, and I would like to register. So I was a NRF intern for Sayon, and I've come back and I'm now registered for UKZN just to finish off my master's. So that was just my concern, and you answered in the presentation. So it's something I must just discuss with the Buse Herbarium staff and with my supervisors whether I can do this year, given your timeframes. But I am keen because I first volunteered at Buse Herbarium, and I've been at Buse Herbarium for a long time. I know certain processes of being a curator, and my goal is to actually become a curator in the future. So this course would be great for me and really benefit me, but it's something I must discuss how things will work out, and hopefully I can register for it.
Okay, all right, Session. So yeah, so you might have to just see, because you'd have to do your assignments in a collection, and so you might be able to work with the Buse Herbarium people. So you'll have to talk to them. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Okay, Saneli Siwe. Okay, so she's from the Herbarium in KZN, and she works with the alien invasives. She has to ask permission to attend, but she thinks, okay, so that she's trying to figure out the time. So that is an important consideration. Sipamandla?
I am Supermandla. I work as a research assistant here at SciAb. As Nati said, we most probably going to be attending with the course.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Poet. Are you our poet?
Huh? Yes, I am.
Okay, I remember you from the forum, right? Okay.
Okay.
Great. So we might see more of you. We can bring some creativity into our boring course. Tanya. Okay, Tanya.
Hi everyone, I am Tanya and I'm a curation technician at Buse Herbarium, and I'm on a contract, but I am interested in registering and hopefully I'll be able to complete the course. Thank you.
Okay, thanks Tanya, great. Vuyani.
Hi, Michele.
Go, we can hear you.
It's Rihanna from SciAb. As Gosnati already indicated about us here at Collections, we will enjoy this course because it's gonna have a great impact to us as collection staff. Thanks.
Okay, thanks. Zinzi.
Hi, Michele. My name is Zinzi Samana. I'm also working as a research assistant here at SciAb. Yes, I will be able to attend the course. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Very good. Okay, so I don't know if there's anybody I've missed. The names on my list have jumped around a little bit. So if you haven't had a go and you want to, you're welcome to just unmute and go.
Yes, I'm Prudence Makwaza. I'm from Buse Herbarium in the University of KwaZulu-Natal. I'm working as a herbarium technical assistant. Yes, I would like to register for the course, and then I'd like to learn everything about the course because also I'm working with Christina to look after our collection. So I would like to learn new techniques from other institutions, and then to see if there are like areas that we need to improve in our institution. So yes, I'd like to register for the course. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Prudence. Ziya, do you want to go?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ziya from SciAb. I'm a collections and safety officer. I'm currently working from home. I'm also keen doing this course.
Okay, all right, so that's great. Ziya, you'll definitely help us with our health and safety part of the course. So we'll appreciate your expertise on that. So Joy, so we'll post a response to Joy. She's interested, but will it be a problem because she's deaf? I think that you'll be able, I think she will be able to cope. So I'll send her a message. But I think that because a lot of it will be text and there's reading and she can write her assignment, I think that it could work for her. All right. Okay, great. All right, so anybody else we missed?
Hi, everyone. My name is Matabar Ziganir. I think I was missed a little bit in the mist there. Yes, I'm the research technician, general collections. I have a lot of collection under my K, from dry to wet collections. I have collections such as hepatology.
Oh, they seem to be having challenges at KZN Museum. We've lost you again, Matabaro. All right, So this is just the the world of working like this. Ziya sent a message. Yes, yeah, Ziya. Oh, just to me. Okay. All right. So if there's nobody else, so we will let you know. We'll let you know on Tuesday about the whose registration is fine. There was somebody else. Was it Melissa who said that she didn't have approval yet? Melissa, I think register anyway, and just say approval pending. So if you don't have it by the closing date on Monday, just submit it. And then we'll see if you don't get approval, you can drop out, you know, if your approval is declined. Okay. And then, yeah, we'll be in contact and we looking forward to it. It's going to be quite interesting, I think. And it's great that we've got so many different people from so many different institutions. And so we'll learn a lot from each other going through this. All right. So we'll be in contact. We'll get back to you. We'll let you know on Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. And I hope you did find it useful. Chanel has said they will post the presentation. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Have a good week, rest of the week. Work hard. Take care. Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michele.